Hey guys, so I'm down here in South Carolina for spring break, and I'm stopped here at the Bob Campbell Geology Museum at Clemson University. So I'm gonna go check it out. I've never been here before, but hopefully they got some cool stuff. I'm gonna show you what's inside, so let's go. All right, so we're walking up to the museum right now. They've got a nice gardens here, as you can kind of look around. So we're basically approaching the museum right now. Let's get inside and see what we see. All right guys, so we're about to go into the museum here, but I wanted to show you something that they have on display out here. Basically an old-fashioned rock drill, basically. So there's a block of gneiss. We've talked about gneiss before in lab. Right here behind me, I'm gonna show you there's some drill holes, but back in the day, they didn't have, power equipment like they do now and hydraulics and all that good stuff. So there's a hand crank on this thing. By hand, they would drill into the rock. So let's take a closer look. Okay, so we've looked around the museum a little bit, but we're about to go into the fluorescent mineral room. We're going to check that out. Hopefully that'll be really cool, and I hope it shows up on camera. So let's go see.
rather ordinary-looking mineral specimens are about to become anything but ordinary. In less than 50% of minerals, absorbed light energy is emitted as visible light. We call this emitted light, or glow, mineral fluorescence. Many of the specimens you see here came from an abandoned iron mine in Franklin, New Jersey, a world-famous site for collecting these rare fluorescent minerals. As the light dims, some of the minerals begin to fluoresce. Notice the bright purple cube above and to the left. This mineral is called fluorite. In fact, it's where the word fluorescent comes from. Also notice that not all the specimens are glowing. This is because different minerals fluoresce under different wavelengths of ultraviolet light. As we increase the range of ultraviolet light, you can clearly see the bright colors of additional types of minerals. Ultraviolet light reacts with trace amounts of impurities, often these are elements such as lead or manganese, to disturb the atomic structure of these minerals and produce fluorescence. Each color is a different mineral. The mineral calcite commonly fluoresces red, and most of the green colors are from a mineral called willemite. The bright green mineral at the middle of the display is a specimen of opal from a chalk mine in western North Carolina. As we further increase the range of ultraviolet light, you can see all of the colors displayed by the many different kinds of minerals in this collection. In fact, many of these specimens can be found by searching abandoned mines at night using portable ultraviolet light. Let's take a few moments to appreciate the amazing variety of colors produced by these naturally occurring fluorescent minerals. Now watch closely as all the lights are turned off. Notice that some of the specimens continue to emit a faint glow. This afterglow effect is called phosphorescence. Can you think of anywhere you may have seen this effect before? Have a look at the display just outside to read more about some examples of how fluorescent minerals are incorporated in products people use every day. These rather ordinary-looking mineral specimens.
That's it.
I guess that was it.
We're done. Now take it out.
Show's over. Wow, wasn't that cool? So a lot of the fossils that we find in South Carolina, or at least that are the most fossiliferous in South Carolina, are the stuff that comes from the coastal plain. And it's a lot of the same stuff that we find in our region in Virginia, out along the Chesapeake Bay. So they're all stuff from the Oligocene, Miocene, fairly geologically recent stuff. But the big stuff that people really like to look for in our area, at the Chesapeake Bay and in different places, is the Megalodon teeth. Now there's some really large ones here on display, and if you're really lucky, you can find these in our area as well, but it's a rarity. Most of the time we just find little tiny teeth, but it's all part of the same coastal plain. So that coastal plain that we talked about that exists in our area extends, doesn't obey geographic boundaries or state lines. It continues down south through the Carolinas into South Carolina. And we find those same age fossils that we find in our area here as well. And it's probably the most fossiliferous stuff that we find in the state. Okay, so for those of you that are in my historical geology lab, here's something that we'll be seeing a video about later on in the semester. Tiktaalik, which was an early Devonian age fossil that's one of our ancient ancestors that we are related to. Get a load of this dinosaur footprint. Hey guys, here's a really fun trace fossil for you guys. We talked about worm burrows and things like that that can be preserved, but How about fossilized poo from living organisms? These are called coprolites, and so for paleontologists that know what they're doing, this can give a lot of information about the organism, what they ate, what their diet was like, how they lived, and even give you some information about how big these animals were based on the size of the coprolite deposit, shall we say. So a special trace fossil. So for those of you that are in my historical geology lab, most of the fossils we're going to be looking at are vertebrate fossils from the Paleozoic. So that's what we're looking at in this cabinet behind me right here. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed our brief tour of the Bob Campbell Geology Museum here at Clemson University. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in lab.
You suffer from acute paranoia?
What is up with that?